Hey all. Yeah, the stream is happening. It was 1:30. Where were you guys? You guys were here. What time are you in here at? It's right now. How you doing, boys? Welcome in. It said what? Didn't I say 1:30 it was going to start? Oh, I put it at 12:30. Jeez. 12. I meant to put it at 1:30. My gosh. What a doughhead I am. Anyways, well, hopefully people will come on here. I put it at the wrong time. Sorry about that, guys. See if people come in. Look at that. Got so many things going on that I... Let's see if anybody comes on here. I'm mad at myself. I don't know why it said 12:30. I don't know why I put it. I didn't mean to put it for 12:30. I meant to put it for 1:30. Hey, how you doing? Sorry about that. I don't know, when I placed it, I thought it said 1:30 is when I tried to put it for, not 12:30. Hi, CL. How you doing, buddy? Good to have you in. Had a whole bunch of people in here to start out the stream, and because I placed it at 12:30 by mistake. I don't know why I did that. So Philly tonight, and I think Philly could win this one tonight. I really do. I am not confident about the Oilers tonight. Hey, Bill, sorry, I don't know why when I set it, I thought I set it for 1:30, but then I noticed it was set for 12:30. But, so I'm going to go till 3. So I'm going to go till 3 today. Well, the Caps are in bad shape, man. There's something seriously going wrong in Washington right now. I think what Laviolette is doing there is he's getting the team ready to just start jumping about 2 weeks before the season. But really, I don't know if it really matters until Samsonov can play a decent game. They're going to play Vanacek more now, and that's probably going to help a bit. He's back. But Samsonov has been absolutely brutal. However, that being said, you still got to win them, and Philadelphia won it. The Oilers, though, in this one, they're pretty beat up. They are pretty beat up. No Nugent Hopkins. I was just going to look at that now. I was just going to look at that now. Who? I know they're without Nugent Hopkins. Oh my gosh, Nurse and Barry are going to be back. Oh, Duncan Keith is back in the lineup, if that matters. Yeah, I think Philadelphia can win this one. Oh, Yamamoto might play tonight. That changes things a tad. Maybe Edmonton will be able to do it. Pulley-Harvey, I didn't know Yamamoto was going to be in. No, Russia and 9 other teams. kicked out of the IHF. Yeah. Whatever. The IHF does weird stuff, so I don't think they're really accomplished. I don't understand why the Olympic Committee and all of that gets all political about crap. That's the reason why I don't really pay attention to the Olympics. It's I find the whole Olympic stuff is like all the political garbage that goes on there. That's not why I watch sports. So. Yeah, I took the Kings. Oh, I took the Bird. I had the Bird. I didn't take anybody, but I had a first period over. Our first period under, and I missed that. Oh, the Leafs game. Yeah, that was just unbelievable. And so, yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. It's what we are. Two things we were worried about. Well, I guess we weren't necessarily worried about Campbell, but I did mention that I was worried about Campbell playing too much, and I didn't think Campbell was a guy you want to be the number one. Like, a lot teams will often say, "Well, I just get a 1 and 1B." I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. You got to have a number one that can handle the workload. Because when you go into the playoffs, you need a guy that can play every night. You're not going to be a 1 and 1B is not going to help you. So, just like Toronto, Washington, and Edmonton are three teams that need a goaltender, and there's only one Marc-Andre Fleury. But I think Toronto's going to. I don't know. Maybe Toronto won't. I don't know. I think they should, but there's not really anything out there. They're probably just going to roll the dice with what they have. But I just can't see. Remember, I said Toronto could win the cup earlier this season because of the way they're playing for each other, and I meant that. But it then it rears up its ugly head again. That Campbell can't handle a lot of work. He just can't handle a lot of work. Oh, you've only taken locks now? I did really well yesterday. I had first period over in Jersey game. I had the over in Jersey game. I had Toronto team over. I think it was Toronto. I hit a lot. I was 6-1 yesterday. Well, and I've been saying that when we started. Nedeljkovic just ain't it, man. Nedeljkovic is just not the. I mean, it shows you how good Carolina's defense is. Nedeljkovic is just not the guy. And I guess you can say how bad Detroit's is too. Yeah, he's. A lot of people still have a lot of faith in that guy. I don't see it. It's sort of like the way I felt about Grubauer. Although Grubauer is playing better as of late, but that's the way Grubauer is. He's not super consistent, and he has to have a good defense in front of him. I mean, a great goaltender doesn't have to have a great defense in front of him. But the breakdown for Toronto, I wouldn't even say it was terrible defensively for Toronto, honestly. It was just bad goaltending all around. Mrazek was horrible. Campbell was horrible. It was just terrible. Terrible. There were breakdowns, but, I mean, that was just some unbelievably poor goaltending display in that game. It's crazy. No, neither team had a goalie for that game. Fortunately for Detroit, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, Nedeljkovic doesn't have to be their goaltender of the future. They have Kosa coming up, who is supposed to be their goaltender for the future. They haven't been really worried about winning now for 2 or 3 years. they're going to keep on building that dynasty, and they're smart because goaltending is not that big of a deal. They get goaltending that can be okay, but they don't want goaltending that's going to prevent them from, being a poor team, not like that's going to get them barely into the playoffs where they get a middle round pick and then Risto turned down an extension. Well, it depends. Probably because they're trying to give him an extension where it takes down his average. So what he's going to do is he's going to force him to put him leave him as a UFA, and then he's going to try to go to the open market. Now, if anybody on this open market, hey Lauren, how you doing? If anybody on the open market gives him what he's making now, I don't know. Okay, I get it. He's big. And he's got a big shot. But his overall game is clueless. It's been clueless for a long time. They said, well, he got better in Philadelphia, I guess. Really? Did he get really that much better? Well, I mean, when I watched him, I didn't see that much better. He can't figure it out. Oh, he wants more than $6.5 million a year? Well, go on the open market, I guess. What a stupid move. I'm sorry. What an absolutely ridiculous move by Chuck Fletcher giving him that money. Giving him that pick. First and a second, and I hated that move. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. It was a stupid move. It was a desperation move. And so was Ellis, because they were crossing their fingers that his injury woes were going to be over. And the Nashville Predators knew that they weren't going to be over. That's why they traded him. And they did all that just to see if they could be somewhat of a contender this year. It's absolutely horrible management. We offered him 6.5. Come on. Are you sure about that? Those are rumors. I am going to not believe that, CL, so I can continue on my day. I'm going to not believe that so I can continue on my day. I don't want to know. If that is true, I do not want to know it. I will not believe that's true. I will not believe that they offered him $6.5 million. I just won't. That is absurd. If they offered him $6.5 million, the Philadelphia Flyers are not going to be relevant for about 20 years. Simple as that. Even if he turned it down, which is stupid on his part, what idiot general manager out there is going to give more than 6.5 to Risto Ristolainen? Are you freaking kidding me? Don't even say it. You're going to say Holland. I know you're going to say Holland. What idiot general manager is going to offer him that kind of money? I wouldn't doubt that Nashville would take him on somehow and, help him become a better, but there's no way a Poile. I heard the Boston Bruins are interested in that and in him for whatever reason, maybe as a rental. But if he's going to go on the open market, If there's rationale in the world, he goes on the open market and he comes out going, "Oh, I should have took that 6.5. I should have took that 6.5." That is the only thing that makes sense here. Now, I don't know. I imagine there might be somebody out there that can. This time next year, let's see if I'm talking to you guys and going, I can't believe Ristolainen's playing so well. We did see Goodbranson become what he became in Calgary. And I never thought Goodbranson would play as well as he did right now. So, I mean, it's not impossible. I just find it like so unlikely. It's crazy. He thinks he's going to get a first and a second for him. You know what? It's got to the point where I just don't understand anymore. I don't understand anymore. When a general manager, Chuck Fletcher's probably getting paid what, $3 million a year. This is supposed to be the elite of the elite hockey mind. Excuse me. Got a touch of the COVID. This is supposed to be an elite hockey mind. And this is supposed to be a professional NHL elite. Because anybody that's in the NHL should be elite, right? The best of the best. And these draft and development people, they're scouts and everything. Chuck Fletcher went to them and said, "Go watch Ristolainen and tell me what you think, because I'm going to offer my first and a second and whatever else it was to get him, and tell me if you think we're going to be able to make him into a top 4 defenseman." And these people went and watched this guy and said, "Oh yeah, we." And a general manager, Chuck Fletcher, who a general manager should be able to watch, like you're looking at the player every day. Chuck Fletcher went to the arena. He saw the Buffalo Sabres. He watched Ristolainen, and something in him made him think that a first and a second for a guy who has no idea what he's doing on the ice, overplays the puck constantly, terrible on the power play. Do you not have an analytics team that looks at the fact that his possession numbers are disgusting? His expected goals against are the worst in the league? And you think in a matter of less than a year, you're going to turn this guy into a top 4 defenseman? And if you don't, you got to pay him $6 million a year, and then you offer him $6 million a year? I don't know. I really like to think that guys like Peyton and some of the other people that we watch here, that we're just some, who are we? We're just armchair general managers that don't, what do we know, right? They obviously think on a way higher level than us. However, we sit here and go, that's a horrible move, and it turns out to be a horrible move, and now what? We just didn't know something, and we just shot. What did we do here? We were just taking a shot in the dark that happened to be right? Like what? I don't get it. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. Is there? I don't watch like football and stuff like that, but from what I see with football, when professional football managers make moves, most people say that that could make some sense there. I understand that. I get that. Maybe it doesn't work out totally or whatever, but when they initially do the move, you usually will go, that makes sense. Now, sometimes you can rationalize it and say they had to trade that guy because of some situation I don't know anything about, right? So the value is going to be crappy coming back because of whatever. I get that. But when you purposely go out and grab somebody like Ristolainen, nobody's pushing your hand here, and do what they did out of utter pure desperation, how does that person have a job in the NHL? I don't know. We're talking about when they picked up Ristolainen. And you got Lauren here. Lauren, a lot of guys that come on this chat all the time. And when that trade happened, there wasn't a single person in our chat that said that was a good move. No one. Seattle was hoping, like, okay, maybe it'll work out. And of course, you got Projo that comes on and he tries to brighten it up a little bit. But we're trying to figure out how a general manager or a team, even an NHL team of any kind, and a scout that has a scouting team goes and watches Ristolainen play and thinks it's a good idea to risk a first and a second for a guy who can't make it on a Buffalo Sabres team, who's defensively porous, horrible, and offensively lower than average, and go watch that guy play. Forget about analytics. Just eye test. He was terrible. And somehow you think you're just going to magically, within less than a year, turn this guy around, and you're willing to risk a first and a second for that. For a team that has hardly any prospects whatsoever. It's an absolute, it was a garbage trade right off the get-go, right, Lauren? Us armchair general managers, as they call us. We're just armchair general. What do we know? Well, I'll tell you what we know. We knew that. So very knew that. If I could bet whatever money I had in my bank account that day that this trade was not going to work out, I would have done it. It was terrible. It would have been better off keeping Gudas. So us armchair general managers, Lauren, what do we know, right? Unbelievable. And there's some great guys out that do things that just blow my mind. Joe Sakic and Stevie Y and Poyle gets a lot of flack, but I still think he made moves that made sense. Maybe I didn't think the Jones deal was going to work out all that well. And it really didn't all that well. It's a little better now, but I mean, they made sense. And like Holland with the signings that we have and stuff like that. I can even talk some sense into that based on the fact that it's the market that it's in to a certain degree, but it was still terrible. But that move in particular was just absolutely gonzo. That was just gonzo. Horrible move. Anyways, Lauren, everybody's saying, Lauren, that the Carolina game tonight, it's a tough spot for Carolina. And I'm trying to figure out where they get this from. I don't see how this is a tough spot. They played at home. They beat the Oilers 4-0. They beat Columbus. They had 2 days rest to go to Detroit, which isn't that far away. And then the idea is that they got to play Washington after that, and that they're going to overlook Detroit. Well, Washington isn't really playing all that great right now, and I think they know that. I think the Washington game is the one they could lose because they got to play at home at Pittsburgh right after that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think here. Could they overlook Detroit here? I mean, it's not the greatest spot in the world, but it's not terrible. I still think Carolina beats Detroit tonight. Nedeljkovic is terrible. And they're playing against their old goaltender. Ah, that's the thing. It just clicked in my head. They're playing against their old goaltender. I don't know what it is about playing against your old goaltender that somehow you kind of like subconsciously they take it easy on him or something like that. And Ranta's going to be in that, which he played really well last game. Maybe that is a bad spot. Nedeljkovic played terrible against Toronto last game. The Frost debacle? What's that? Bringing up Frost, or what debacle is that? I mean, Frost is pretty much what Frost was ever going to be. I think. I think Frost is what he was always going to be. He still has upside, but he was a late first-round pick, and everybody thought that they were. I think what happened with Frost is everybody's hoping that the draft pick solved the problem here for Philadelphia. Well, what do you mean by the Frost debacle? Just the poor pick? You think he was a poor pick? I didn't mind the pick. As long as you understood what you were getting. Like his top end was an average second liner. That was the top end. I don't know what people thought Frost was going to be. How old? He's what, 22 now? Sent him down to the minors. Yeah, he's 22, right? So 7 points in 30 games. Yeah, maybe I thought he would have a little more production than this, though. He's almost a point-a-game player in the AHL. Like I said, like at his max, 2-3 years from now, Frost will probably find his niche on the second line, somewhere like that, wherever he ends up. What does he play? Can he play the wing? Yeah, they play him at a center. To me, Frost feels more like a winger. I don't know why they're not trying him more on wing, actually. No, yeah. Anyways, it was a garbage trade for sure. All right, I'm going to get the live chat up here. We're going to look. We got lots of games tonight. The Senators Lightning tonight. I like the Lightning tonight, but I'm a little worried because they just had that outdoor game. Oh. He's getting a point a game. The problem is just working him into the lineup. I'm really interested about Eichel because there's something in me that thinks he's got like this attitude that rubs people the wrong way. And I'm wondering how he's going to work out there with the people. That's the big thing everybody's wondering about, because the talk out of Buffalo was that Eichel was kind of a jerk. Seriously. The talk out of Buffalo that Eichel was kind of a jerk. And I'm interested to see how he fits into this lineup. He's almost at a point a game. It's going to take a while for him to gel with his line mates and all that stuff like that. But when you consider that he does a person does need that time, the fact that he's at a point a game right now is pretty darn good still. You know, yeah, but I wouldn't say he's gelling yet. No, I wouldn't say that. Tonight's going to be a big game to find out if that happens. They got him playing with Evgeny Dadonov and Chandler Stevenson on the wing, which is a weird combination. But he's got 4 points in 5 games. And I think when it's all said and done, right, he's going to play with Stone. This is a difficult thing because they keep taking Stone and Pacioretty in and out of the lineup. When they do get back, he's basically going to have to kind of get used to line mates again. So I don't know exactly what they're going to go on about. I like he's not going to play with Evgeny Dadonov forever. I don't think they're probably going to have Pacioretty, Eichel, and I don't know where's Stone going to fit when he comes back. Oh no! Wait, no. Stone is a right winger, right? Yeah, Stone's a right winger. You're gonna take Chandler Stevenson off that line, I guess. Bring him down to the third line after everything he's done up there in the top line with those guys, and that's what I'm kind of worried about. I don't think I took enough consideration here on how much that Eichel going to Vegas kind of upsets the apple cart a little bit. Chandler Stevenson worked his bag off for that top 6 role. And now Eichel comes and just basically strips it away. I mean, at the moment they're not. They're playing together, so that's good. But, without any thought towards it, I don't know how that affects like the team in general. You know what I'm saying? Because when Stone comes back, it looks like it's going to be Stone, Pacioretty, and Eichel, which is an amazing line. Then you got the Carlson line. And then Chandler Stevenson now becomes a third line center. How is he going to take that? How is the whole team going to take that? And a lot of that's going to depend on Eichel's attitude too. And how he treats the fact that he just came from another team and all of a sudden, Pal, you're a number 1 center where, he hasn't even hardly played with them yet. And if he's got this holier than thou attitude and all that kind of stuff like that, like they say in Buffalo, that can be pretty difficult, I would think. Yeah, Buffalo hampered him with the C. Yeah, you might have a point there, right? He's not a captain type player. Sort of like when Hull had the C in for the Oilers. Yeah, it hasn't really been enough games yet, but we'll see how it works out. I kind of figured that it's I kind of said that I think it will work out great, but it's going to take some time and it's not going to be this year. It's going to be more of a next year thing, I think. But the Tampa Bay game, I'm a little worried about how much they partied after the Nashville outdoor game because they actually, I think it was Stamkos in the interview afterwards actually said, "Yeah, I think we've got taken the reins off tonight," which means they would have went out partying, which means they were going to go out partying. Now you say, "Well, that shouldn't affect them because that was how many days ago?" Oh, but was that Monday? Or that was Sunday, right? Tampa Bay. When did they play that Nashville game? That's Sunday? Oh, what the heck? When the heck did they play? Oh, I see. It's not going back. Ah, shoot. Yeah, there it is. First line is terrible. Oh, all this. Oh, that's weird. That might be the way he starts it, and then he'll move it around. I don't know. Sometimes they just do that to get guys thinking. I think he wants to make sure these guys are on the game. They want to be thinking about the game because this could be an overlooked game. So I think he's kind of like a lot of times coaches will do weird things to get you focused on the actual game that you're about to play. That could be it. You're a sucker for the outdoor games, really? I don't mind them. It's okay. I mean, if it works for you, that's right. Okay, they played Nashville on the 26th. So that was 4 days ago. One, two, three. 26th, 27th, 28th. Oh, 2 days ago. If it wasn't for the fact that Ottawa was so beat up, like Tampa should get their head out of their ass and win this game. Simple as that. So they partied in Nashville on the 26th. Then they traveled hungover on the 27th. They got back on their feet again on the 28th. And then got to play an Ottawa team that wants that wants you to hate them. But also is without a whole crap load of players. Like that team is missing so many players, it's crazy right now. But they're going to play with so much heart, and Tampa Bay may not. I don't know if I like this game anymore. Ottawa. Kachuk, Colin White is back. And that'll be his first game in forever. In Sanford. Formanton, Stutzla, and Godet. Like, they got to win this game, man. Shabbat's going to be in the lineup. Oh, no. Oh, man. I could almost see Ottawa doing this game. Colin White is in, but, I mean, he hasn't played in forever. I don't know. I think Ottawa could win that game. If they play Vasilevsky. Yeah. Oh, now I thought for sure the Shabbat wasn't playing tonight. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you like him. I don't know. I'm not as like I don't know why I'm not as big on the outdoor games as other people are, but I'm glad people like him. Keep doing them because people seem to like him. So that's awesome. I find it makes the ice choppy and the game kind of takes away from the game a bit. You got Ottawa 1+1++1.5. I'm thinking about doing that. The under makes some sense. Vasilevsky, Ottawa's not going to be able to score enough. Can Tampa Bay get up for this game? This is what ticks me off. Like on paper, Tampa Bay should absolutely freaking ruin this team. Ruin them. But if there's any team at all that plays down to their competition and would definitely be a bag of crap in this spot after having that big party afterwards, it would be Tampa Bay. No doubt about it. And Ottawa's going to be coming in like they always do. I'll tell you this right now. Tampa Bay better enjoy their cups right now because if they win this one this year, I think this is their last one. And when Ottawa becomes good enough to get the talent close to Tampa, they are going to destroy Tampa every game they play them. Ottawa is like Ottawa has become one of my favorite teams out there. I love Ottawa. That's a team that comes in and says, you know what, we're going to kick your ass. We may lose, but when you leave here, you are going to hate us. And when you come back into my arena next time, or if we go into your arena, you're going to hate that we're there. I love teams like that. Those are cup winning teams. And Tampa Bay, we'll see in the playoff time. They got Corey Perry there. It seems like guys like Corey Perry can turn the hate on like that. But in the regular season, I would not be surprised at all if Tampa Bay just doesn't even show up for this game. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, I had the PL to start, but I took it off. And I just found out Shabbat's going to be in too. Shabbat's going to be playing, so. If they win it all. If they win it all, Doug. I'm almost tempted to take uh I'm almost tempted to take Ottawa first period plus 0.5. Wonder what you're getting on that. Because I think Tampa's going to come out like a bag of crap. Like, Ottawa's going to be all over them in the first little while. see what you're getting on that. Ottawa first period plus 0.5 is 183. I'm going to throw that in there. Why not? All they need is a draw, and you got it in that first period. I wouldn't doubt at all that Ottawa, that's a draw first period, at least. Like Tampa, how many times has Tampa done it over and over and over and over again? This is a team that likes to have a good time in the regular season. No doubt about it. And yeah, no doubt about it. I'm going with it. $1.83. That's not too shabby. And then you don't have to worry about the rest of the game because Tampa Bay can turn it around, wake up. They have a tendency to do that. It is a bad spot for the Oilers tonight. Yeah, I don't like that spot. I'm fadey on the game because I think I'm fading the game. It's the Oilers just got their ass handed to them by Carolina. And now they got to lift themselves up for Philadelphia. They got to peel themselves off. The thing is I don't know with this new coach if they have a minute to do that or not. That's my big question here. Do they have it in them to do that? To lift themselves up for this Philly game? And I think Philly has owned them at home too, right? Yeah, I don't think the Wings are. I understand why you like the Red Wings there. I know that spot. They got their ass handed to them, man. That's what I mean. Like, I don't care if it was only one goal, but didn't they lose 4-0 to Carolina? Or was it, what was that? I gotta look that up. And they've been on the road for a bit. I know what you're saying. I don't have much on that Carolina game. Detroit did come back hard in the third against Toronto. I mean, to me, it's like Carolina or nothing. Because I do not trust Nedeljkovic. I don't think Nedeljkovic has a bounce back game. I'm not a Nedeljkovic fan. Well, the thing is the spot. Carolina's in an overlook spot here. Carolina could overlook Detroit here. They have Washington coming up and then Pittsburgh after that. And then they got this annoying little Detroit game in between. This is like an annoying game. Oh, that's right. It was 2-1. Is this one of those one game on the road things and back too? That's a terrible spot for that. If that's the case, yeah. Played the Oilers. No, it isn't. Okay, so they're going on the road for 2. That's not too bad. And then they're home for Pittsburgh. So the thing is, okay, they beat Edmonton. They get on a plane from Carolina. They fly to Detroit. They're comfortably in a. See, this is why it's a bad spot, Doug, for for Carolina. They're comfortably in a playoffs position. Uh, they know they got Washington and Pittsburgh coming up. It's just subconsciously a team can can get ahead of themselves in this spot. It's just a subconscious thing. And I think Brindamore knows that, hence the reason why Lauren just came on here and said that the way they're doing the lineup is they have all, the first line's going to be all right-handers and the second line's going to be all left-handers. Yeah, it was 2-1 Canes. But they terribly outshot the Oilers. That's right. Koskinen, was it Koskinen or Smith had a really good game or something like that. If Brindamore can get Carolina swayed to the understanding that you have to play man on man against Detroit, and you got it. If they come in trying to play back on their heels a bit, Detroit will win tonight. Or if they're over, like this is an overlooked game, and then you got Ranta, who has been really good and has been really bad. So it's a. But I probably just get off the game completely because I can't trust Nedeljkovic. Just there's no way. There's no way I can take Detroit and Nedeljkovic. Hi Brian, how you doing, buddy? Oh. Mike Smith, okay. Yeah. I could see it being over, I could see it being under. Let's put it this way. If it's over, there's more chance Detroit wins that game. If it's under, Carolina wins that game. Yeah, but that's what I said. The reason why Ranta's goals against average is high, is the middle, is because sometimes he's absolute garbage and sometimes he's really good. When Ranta's on his A game, he's better than Anderson Lorne. I don't like the Ducks at all. I mean, Ducks could rebound, but until I see the Ducks play like they look like they're young guys. The Ducks look like their young guys are beat down. They can't handle a full season. That's what it looks like for me for the Ducks. But I mean, they're playing Boston on a back-to-back, plus the end of a road trip. I mean, I think that's who they're playing, right? It's a bad spot for Boston, but I just have very little faith in the Ducks. They got Gibson will be in net. He could save them too. But it's kind of what I thought with Anaheim is they were gonna fade down the stretch, and they did. Anderson is way better consistently, but Ranta, when he's perfectly healthy, and on his game, Ranta could be like one of the best in the league by far. He's amazing, but that's so rare that it's so rare that that's the case. He's one of the most fickle goaltenders I've ever seen, man. Ranta was lights out in Arizona when he was healthy. It's just like the last part when he was healthy. And that didn't happen very often. But he would come in for a couple games and he would stop like freaking everything, man. He could. I don't know. Carolina's a team that wins in bad spots more than any other team. And the question is, what does Detroit do after that loss there? If Detroit comes in and, this is the thing. The coach is going to be like defense, guys. We got to, because they lost 10-7, right? So they're going to focus on defense. And to tell you the honest truth, they're not going to beat Carolina with defense. If they're going to beat Carolina tonight, they got to play aggressive offensive game. And then they can light up Ranta. But I have a feeling that all they practiced is defense after losing 10-7 to Toronto. And then they're going to come in here and try to beat Carolina with defense, with their defense and that goaltending. I don't even care what the spot is. Carolina will crush it. A team like that. That's not their game. They don't have the defense to be able to do that. They could come out and crush Detroit or Carolina in the first period right away. But they got to play an aggressive offensive style that they're built for. If they try to play, anything else, I don't know. I just don't see it going well for them, but we'll see. Yeah, they need to outwork Carolina, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, what's the team total over on that? Is it a 3? I could see that. It's a game I don't like. I gotta take that off of there. I don't know. I agree. I'm on the fence about that game. You know what? I would be on Detroit if they didn't lose 10-7 to Toronto. I'm just confused as to what's going to happen there. How do you look at it? That game was so weird. They were down 7-2 and they came out flying and potted goals like crazy. Are they going to stay that way? Is the coach going to say, well, what we did in the third period, we got to do in the first period? It almost feels like maybe the best play here is Detroit in the first. Because I imagine they're going to try to come out in the. But then on the other hand, is will Bilsili or Blashill preach defense so much that they don't? So yeah, Wings plus 1.5. Well, that can be a bad thing. They're on a 5-game winning streak, even puts them more in a bad spot here. Yeah, I could see them start to fall here. This is a bad spot. The over-under is at 6.5. I could see either being the case here. Detroit's been scoring up like a freaking. Detroit's been scoring a lot. I could see them continue just doing what they were doing. That's because it's a trend. And I could also see them all of a sudden changing their focus onto defense and all that kind of stuff like that. Let me just take a look at this game one more time. It's one of the most interesting games tonight. Carolina's 8-4 straight up in their last 12 games against Detroit. 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games when playing on the road against Detroit. They're 5-1 straight up in their last 6 games. They beat Columbus. They played a purely defensive game. They played a great defensive game against Edmonton. Oh, man. My gut says Carolina still. And I know it's a tough spot, but you got to remember, it's not like Detroit wasn't bleeding goals before this. They lost 7-4 to Minnesota. They tightened up a bit against the Rangers. If I remember, that was a terrible spot for the Rangers, and they won. Then they lost 5-2 to Colorado and then 10-1. I just got a feeling I'm gonna get myself off this game and I'm gonna kick myself when Carolina wins it. I just have that feeling. Maybe what does Detroit have? And does Detroit have anybody out of the lineup? And that's the other thing is Carolina doesn't have. Osterley, Hronek, that defense is terrible. Carolina. Svechnikov, Aho, Teravainen, Jarvis, Trocheck, Nichus. Now, see, Bear's going to be playing up with Slavin tonight. Shea, Pesci, Cole, Chatfield. Anyways, I'm off the game. I made up my mind. D'Angelo is out, yeah. Yeah, the Hurricanes are very hard to go against, especially against a Detroit team that just got shooken up by Toronto. I just have a feeling Detroit's going to go against their game tonight. The Blashill is going to focus so much on defense and that's just not their game. I mean, they do want to play. Every team wants to play somewhat good defensively, but Detroit's made and has been developing their talent to be a high octane offensive team. And if they don't play like that, they're not going to win. They're just not going to win. You can't trap. Detroit's not going to trap anybody. I think it's a bad spot too. I think I just got to put it away out of my head and just pass it. Five and 2 past 7 games in Detroit. Yeah, I know. I think I just got to pass the game. That's it. Simple as that. Okay, we got a couple more, so I'm going to look at. Like we already talked about Tampa, Ottawa. I so could see Tampa dropping this game. I could so see it. It's just crazy. It's irritating that Tampa could drop this game. It's irritating to me that they likely will. It's irritating, but they probably will. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's why I got Ottawa plus 0.5 first period. Because Tampa's going to come out, still haven't got shooken off the hangover from the party at whatever. Nobody parties harder than Tampa Bay and Washington in the regular season. They're all joking, having fun, and forgetting that they're coming to Ottawa. How do you forget that you're going into a rink like Ottawa? How do you forget that? Like, how do you overlook an Ottawa team? But yeah, Ottawa's got the flu bug. But guess what? You know what? It doesn't matter if you outwork the other team. You outwork the other team, and it don't frickin' matter. It's simple as that. And Tampa is going to come out and be like just la-di-da. And as long as they've got legs, Ottawa's going to beat the living crap out of them for the first period. They're going to come out and beat them to. They are going to make them, force them to play a game. And Tampa doesn't want to play a game tonight. You can be assured of that. They're just going to hope that they can outskill their team and get on to the other side. They probably still will because they've got the skill to do it. But I wouldn't be surprised, especially in the first period, that they just look like they're not even there. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I've seen it so many times with Tampa Bay. It's ridiculous. No, I just saw on. I just saw that they're not out, actually. It says on Cap Friendly. That's why I'm. Oh, wait. Shabbat is in. It says that Shabbat and Zaitsev are in. Joe. Shabbat and Zaitsev are in. If they were out, I probably got to go with Tampa. They'll just outskill them and it won't matter. But it says that they're in on Cap Friendly right now. Let's see if I can find it. It just says 7 days ago. I hear nothing on it, but for some reason, you're probably right about Tampa Bay. I don't know. I get so frustrated with Tampa Bay, I'm just leaving myself off of it. Anyways, okay, so the next game, I'm probably going to kick myself for that, but the LA Kings are trash. Yeah, right. I picked them to make the playoffs this year. Calgary, Minnesota. It's probably going to be Minnesota, but I'm going to be off the game. I'm not going to do anything with that. I can't trust Talbot. I know it's a revenge spot for Minnesota to come back, but the way I've watched them play the last little while, I don't know if they have any revenge in them. Honestly, it's the first time I got to say that Dean Evison's not getting enough out of this group. But it's probably the Wild here, probably, but I wouldn't put much on it. They should. It's a revenge game. No, I can't trust Talbot. That's the thing. And Calgary should be relentless in this game too. What? Goudreau's playing second line. Okay, they switched the lineups too. Fiala, Goudreau, and Boldy. Duheim, Eriksson, and Eck and Foligno. Minnesota went. Oh, this is Minnesota's first game back from a long road trip. Now, the thing about, but it wasn't a very good road trip. So now they're home. If Minnesota gives a game that I haven't seen them play for a while, if they give their top game, I think they win this. If they play the best that they can. Over 6. Maybe. It's going to be like a playoff game atmosphere, though, so I don't know. I don't like the game. I think it could go either way. It's a coin toss. You might as well take the dog, I guess. I don't like it. I don't like it. Islanders, Colorado. It's a beautiful spot for Colorado. The Islanders have been on the end of a long road trip. Yeah, they're coming off a high after beating, what did they beat, San Jose or something like that? There's no bad spot here. Colorado all day long. Colorado all day long. Barzal's not in. I mean, they beat Anaheim. Anaheim didn't even show up for that game. Seriously, it was brutal. They didn't even show up for that game. Colorado has been getting her done. 3 wins in a row. They beat Vegas. Was that in Colorado or was that in Vegas? Oh, yeah, they did one of those on the road, home, on the road, and then they're home, right? That's kind of annoying. But there's no way I can't see the Islanders winning that game in any shape or form. I just can't see it. Any way, shape, or form. Yeah, figure skating all day is right. That's about it. I think the Avs. The only thing that prevents the Avs from winning that game is that they're so solid in a playoff spot that. Like, and it's a weird spot. They went really strange. You got Boston. They were at Boston. Then they played at Detroit. Came home and played Winnipeg. Then went on the road and played Vegas. And now come home and play the Islanders a couple days later. Who do they got after that? And I mean, then they go to Arizona and come home again. So the only thing, it's annoying. Why you're on the road, home, on the road, home, on the road. What a weird schedule for them. But the Islanders have been on the road forever. They're going to Colorado in the high, like their legs are going to be done here. I think. I think Colorado just wins cause. I think Islanders' legs are done. Yeah, I don't touch that game. Yeah, Avs are going to win that game for sure. I don't trust the Vegas Golden Knights against anyone right now. If you're going to bet anything, you might as well bet the dog. If you're going to do anything on that game, just take the dog. Laner's rusty. Laner's a guy that everything, all the stars have to align for him to play his best. So, Vegas is banged up, yeah, and they're still getting used to Eichel being there and all that kind of stuff like that. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if San Jose wins that game. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I might even put something in on it. But I probably won't touch it. Oh, why? Are you talking about the Ducks game? Oh, I wasn't touching the Ducks on that game. I think they have a chance to win tonight. I don't know if they will win tonight. I know I'm not touching Edmonton. I'll tell you that right now. That's for sure. Same as this Boston-Anaheim game. Boston will probably win, but they're on a back-to-back, and this has been a long road trip for them. Maybe the Ducks wake up and, like, because I would have to imagine that Dallas Eakins had to be pissed at them the last game. Maybe not. Maybe he just realized these kids can't handle the physical. Like, they're not going to make it this year. They got too many young players that aren't used to playing in the NHL, and it looks like they're just plain tired. The only thing is I can't. It's Allmark. Probably the over. Over here sounds like a good. Over maybe. Yeah, dogs are barking tonight. Yeah, but I don't know if I like the Ducks there. I don't know if I can take the Ducks anywhere. Gibson is questionable tonight. Gibson might not even play. Probably over. If Gibson isn't in, I'm on the over. Over. The Oilers will win tonight? Okay. I don't know why you think the Oilers will win tonight. They have no. Although Yamamoto's back in, maybe they will. Koski, that is what makes you think the Oilers are going to win tonight because Koskinen is in it. Just because Koskinen plays better, I mean. You could be right. They barely lost to Carolina, but they got their ass kicked by Carolina. I don't care what the score was. They got their ass kicked. Koskinen kept them in the game. And he does that every once in a while, but not consistently. They got their ass kicked in Carolina, let's face it. They got to remove the fact that they got their ass kicked in Carolina. They got to tell themselves they're better than that. Um, Gibson is in tonight, but he's only got a 2.84 and a 911. We keep on saying Gibson is in tonight, but the truth is Gibson hasn't been playing all that well. Now, that might have been because he was playing hurt and he's back and he's healthy and he'll crush. But they didn't keep up to Carolina. They got their ass kicked. They got their ass kicked. Yeah, I could see the Ducks. I mean, it's a bad spot for Boston. Boston has played way too much hockey. Oh, no, they're not. They played Seattle, then 2 days later played San Jose. Oh, then they played a back-to-back, yeah. And then they play, oh, yeah. And then you could be a look-ahead game because they're playing Vegas. Yeah, and Allmark is in net. Yeah, you might as well go. Allmark is in net. The Ducks looked like absolute garbage their last game. Like garbage. You got to figure that they were bag skate all the crap after that game. What was that again? That was against the Islanders, right? They were pathetic against the Islanders. Absolutely pathetic. So, yeah, I could see the Ducks taking that. Gibson's confirmed, yeah. John Gibson versus Allmark. Yeah, I got to go with Anaheim. I'll throw a little bit on Anaheim. Even if Boston does happen to, and I actually will go the opposite and say the under if but it's a 5.5, so I probably won't even bother with it. I'll go with Anaheim to come out hard on that one. I don't have a score prediction for that game. I can't back the Flyers except for possibly PL. The Oilers need that game. They've been on the road a lot. They've been on the road a while. What do they got? They played Tampa Bay, and then 2 days later they do a back-to-back with Carolina. So they got over that. See, this feels like such a letdown game. Even though they won that game, this feels like they go, oh, okay, we got through all the hard stuff. Now we just got Philadelphia. And do they go home after this? Oh, no, they got Chicago after this. Yeah, it feels like they got over that 3 games, and now they just got Philadelphia, Chicago. And, it just feels like they could just, whatever. I don't understand why the psychology of that happens, but I could see it. Yeah, he's a Flyers fan too, though. I have a feeling my lean here is Edmonton underestimates Philadelphia here. Philadelphia is starting to play a lot better as of late. Edmonton's going to go in there thinking they're going to crush them, and Philadelphia is going to come out with lots of legs, and they're on a little bit of tired legs on the road. They're going to get back on their heels, and Philadelphia probably wins the first period. Then Edmonton might wake up somewhere along the line there. You got to remember, Edmonton still has a bad defense. Just because you have a new coach doesn't mean you have a good defense. They still have a bad defense. And the teams are going to figure that out over a time. I don't have the over on this game either. Probably could be. Carter Hart's been playing way better as of late. I can't trust Koskinen. I don't care what you guys say. Just because he had one good game against Carolina. Did you watch Koskinen in that game at Carolina? He was livid with his defense the whole game. Like, he was pissed. The one goal, when they finally scored it, he was so angry. He was angry for just leaving a guy wide open like that. And now they're going to put him back in again. So oh, no, sorry. It was a game. The last time Koskinen played. The last time Koskinen played. It wasn't Mike Smith. It was last time he played. He was pissed at his defense the whole game. And he's been pissed at his defense all year. And they don't play well in front of him because of it. But he has a right to be pissed about that defense because the defense is still garbage. It hasn't changed because they got a new coach. It didn't become a good defense because they have a new coach. They're going to play a better offense. Probably, yes. He's going to let them roll, but that defense didn't get any better. It's still shit. Sorry to tell you. It's still a brutal defense. Yeah, I could see the over. It's 6.5 though, right? I might put a little bit on the over because I think the trend's to the over. I just don't understand why. Like, I guess I do understand it, but Edmonton giving up that juice. You know what I think I would do? I think what I would do here maybe is take Edmonton with on a 2-pick parlay with somebody or something like that. Yeah, I think I'm just not touching the game. I don't like it. I don't like the spot for Edmonton. I don't like it. I don't like Edmonton's defense. I don't like that Koskinen is playing because they don't play well in front of Koskinen. Koskinen doesn't like playing for them. Like, they so need to get rid of that guy. Koskinen almost plays well despite them rather than because of them. Okay, guys, I gotta let you go. Yamamoto's going to play tonight, apparently. That was the one thing that if Yamamoto was out, I was really on Philly. But for some reason, he's in now. Apparently. Yeah, Yamamoto's in. Game time decision, but it looks like he's going to be in. No Hopkins. Like, you got Devin Shore. Oh yeah, that was the other reason why I'm on Philly. They're putting Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie on the same line. That's a bloody disaster waiting to happen right there. If Darnell Nurse and Barrie are on the same line, yeah, you should probably go over here. Yeah, I'm going to put the over in. I'm going to take the over. You're putting Darnell Nurse and Barrie on the top line. That's 2 goals right there. That's 2 goals right there. Then Duncan Keith and Evan Bouchard. Yeah, forget it. No, I'm not touching Edmonton. What you guys think? All of a sudden, Woodcroft is some sort of a genius? Guess what? He's doing the same crap that Tippett did. Nurse is a little overrated. I wouldn't say he's a joke, but he's a little over. He's better defensively this year than he ever has been. Yeah, sure, yeah. Shore is in tonight. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for coming on. Will I be on tomorrow? Was there a reason why I wasn't going to be on? Oh no, I can't be on tomorrow. That's right. Oh wait, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, I can. I'll be on tomorrow. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. Have a good one. Okay, bye.